Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing the 2020 general election again because it is that 1 week period where I go over it and basically describe why I think either candidate will win. So first off, we are going to be starting with the likely states for Joseph Biden. Colorado. It's a very far-leaning left state now, and I think it will be in the future. Same thing with Virginia. It did go Republican during George Bush, but it will not do the same during any election anytime soon. Because both of those states are becoming very liberal in general, and even with George Bush, they were still competitive. Same thing with Nevada, also becoming a lot more liberal. It's just becoming another one of those states that will likely be safe for the Democratic Party soon in its future. And same thing with Minnesota. I mean, it will probably be safe sometime in the Democrats' future. Definitely still a swing state, but I think Joe Biden will nearly edge it out to the point where it will be a likely state. Now, for likely states for Donald, do I see any? I think Ohio would be likely. Ohio is just becoming a lot more Republican. He won it by over 9% in 2016, and I think that will be very hard to swing back for the Democrats, concluding that it's not more Democrats aren't moving there, and yeah. And then Iowa, I think, will be lean. I think it's not working for me. Oh my god. It's because I wasn't on Donald. But I think that it will be a lean. I think Donald Trump will win it by about 4%, maybe 3%. Won't be a tilt, but it will definitely be close. It'll be closer than people expect. It'll be a lot closer than 2016, at least. Now, for Joe Biden, another state that, or wait, I'm going to put up the true toss-ups because there are going to be some true toss-ups. I didn't want to add that. Custom color. I'm going to put that in. Set. Okay. These are going to be my true toss-up states. What color should I use? I think I might do either the likely for it or actually I'll use the lean for it. Okay, anyway. Okay. Now for Joe Biden, a state like Michigan, it's becoming a lot more Democratic. 2016 was obviously a fluke for poor Hillary Clinton. And she wasn't up by much in the polls in Michigan, and Joe Biden is up by a lot more at the moment. And we're basing it off of right now, not what I think will actually happen in November. I'm basing it off of as of July, what day is it in July? 13th. July 13th. We are basing it off of not November 3rd. Now we are going to be getting into the states where I will categorize some of them as true toss-ups, some of them will be leans or tilts. As for Pennsylvania, I believe that is actually a tilt state. I think Joe Biden will win it by about approximately 1.7%. Donald Trump could win it if he is lucky, but we will see. Now, this is where we get into like the actual toss-ups. Like every single state left will either be a tilt or maybe one of them will be a lean. And actually, I'll just categorize that right now. I think Arizona will be a lean. Because Joe Biden's leading by approximately 2.8% in RCP polls, and it leaned 5% in Hillary Clinton's favor in 2016. Obviously, very good for Joe Biden, and I think he will edge it out. Either tilt, or I'll put it as tilt for now, just because you never know what can happen. But I mean, with the senator's race, people going out to vote for Mark Kelly, they'll be like, Screw it. I'll vote for Joe Biden. Now we are going into the true toss-ups, the states that could go either way. Um, I'll try and categorize most of them as tilt one way, but I will have to put some of them as true toss-ups, like at least three of them. And as one that I am going to categorize as tilt will actually be New Hampshire. I think Donald Trump might actually edge it out. I mean, he is campaigning there. He is going hard to win the state of New Hampshire. I mean, he's holding a rally there during the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, that shows balls. I mean, yeah, that shows guts. That he does have guts to do that. I mean, actually, no. I think Joe Biden will win it. Yeah. No. Yeah, Joe Biden will win it. Now that I think about it, there are going to be enough people in New Hampshire that say, whoa, this guy's really freaking stupid for having a rally near my people. So if I think about it, Joe Biden will win it by about 1%. If I think about it enough. I think Joe Biden could definitely get it to be like a lean state though. But I think it will be Tilt and Joseph Biden's column. Now we get into some of them that are true toss-ups and some of them that are tilt. And by that, I mean Florida. Joe Biden's winning there by 5% or over 5%. And it only tilted 1% on the dot in Donald Trump's way in 2016. So even if that did happen, he would be in the lean column. But polls can change, and I think they will, in Donald Trump's favor, but I don't think it will be by that much. So I think Joe Biden will win it by around 1.3%. Honestly, he'll win it by less than Pennsylvania, but he'll win it by more than Arizona, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. But as for Donald, I think he will edge out Wisconsin. I mean, Joe Biden's leading there by 6.5% right now, and Hillary Clinton was leading there by about 10% right now, around 10%. Her lead went down to 6.5%, and as we know, Donald Trump somehow came out on top. And if Joe's lead does go down, and the same exact swing happens, it'll be a blowout for Donald Trump. Or not a blowout, but like around a 1% victory like it was in 2016. And I think Donald will win it by around 0.3% or lower. Or Joe Biden will win it. I mean, it's a true toss-up, but not enough that I'll think one party will win it by like under 0.5%. I mean, yeah, I did say Donald will win it by 0.3, but if he does win it, he'll probably win it by around 1%. Same thing didn't happen with Michigan, though. He won Michigan by 0.3%, I believe. Now, as of North Carolina, Joe Biden's leading there in the polls by 3.3. Donald Trump won it by 3.7 in 2016, which is why I'm going to have to categorize it as a true toss-up. It did lean Donald Trump's way, about 2.6%. And if it did the same, Joe Biden would win it from a tilt margin. Don't think it will be the same. But if I had to bet on it, I would say Joe Biden would win it. Like, if the election were held today and I had to bet on it, I would say Joe Biden would win it. But you never know. As for Georgia, I also believe that is a true toss-up. Joe Biden's leading there by 1.7% in the polls. It only went in Donald Trump's favor by 0.3% in 2016, which is why I'm categorizing it as a true toss-up. Because as we see, the polls are even getting more accurate, and they only swung by under a percentage point, and Joe Biden's leading there by over a percentage point. So, yeah. And as for Texas, I also believe it is a true toss-up. Believe it or not, Joe Biden's actually leading there in the polls now. I can check them again just to make sure. But last time I checked, he was leading in the polls. Not by much, by any means, but he was leading there in the polls. And in 2016, it swung 3% in Hillary Clinton's favor. Donald was leading there by 12%. He only won it by 9%. Still quite a bit, but Yeah, let me check it real quick, and I'll even show you guys so that you guys know I'm not lying or anything. Texas. 0.1% Joe Biden's leading by. He's still leading. And yes, the polls were in Hillary Clinton's, they swung in Hillary Clinton's favor in 2016. So that's why I'm categorizing it as a true toss-up. So 69 electoral votes that I think could go either way. Honestly, if I were to try and not categorize some of them as tilt, I would say Wisconsin's a true toss-up. I would say New Hampshire's a true toss-up, and I would also say possibly Pennsylvania is a true toss-up. Because Pennsylvania, you never know. But yeah, that was my updated 2020 general election predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Also, sorry for not uploading yesterday. I had a very busy schedule. But see you guys tomorrow.